Okay,
Okay.
awesome. Okay, so I'll go first. All right. Hello, my name is Ariana Leo. A little bit about me to get this started is I like to go on hikes. I like to take my dog on runs and walks and basically have her with me at all times as much as possible. I'm that crazy dog lady. So that's a little bit about me. Group nine. Being in group nine, we established a contract and made an agreement to what dates and time works best for us to deliver our speeches. Our formal speech will be given on 9/22 at 6 p.m. and 10/13 at 6 p.m. Those are the dates and times we agreed, and we agreed that changes could be made. Some of our rules that we developed in our contract is allow everyone to talk, take turns after our speeches. We should give feedback, and so everyone can participate. At least give 1 to 2 comments, 1 to 2 minutes, something so everyone has a contribution to our group. Feedback should be helpful, must critique in a professional, non-derogative way. If our group needs to reschedule for unforeseen circumstances, we expect at least a 24-hour heads up. And then we agree to 5% deduction if you're late without notice. We're willing to wait 10 minutes before we hit the record button so everyone has some time to get themselves together. And that is our contract. With our contract being written, our group communicates via text. Our text is actually very beneficial to me and maybe to others, because if there's ever any confusion on an assignment, we can text each other to see if our peers can help us out before contacting our professor. Being a remote and online class, I find that our pods and our little group and our text is very, very, very helpful because, like I said, it's kind of hard to communicate sometimes. And me being a very shy person, I do struggle to reach out to the professor sometimes just because, I don't know, I still get that sense of fear and get very shy. One thing I like about this class is definitely the mind tap, and I do like that the literature can be read to you. I find that very, very helpful because I am a very audio person. So I like to turn on the literature portion and have it read to me. And if something sparks up that I kind of like, I'm like, hey, that's kind of important. I'll stop and take notes. So that's one thing that I'm going to use a lot in this class to succeed. Um, Public speaking is very, very hard for me. I get very nervous and I tend to talk fast, but with this course, I do hope that that will get nipped in the bud and I'll be able to, is that, oh. So I hope that I'll be able to conquer my fear and be able to give public speeches more professionally and less nervously. And I lost my train. I do tend to lose my train of thought sometimes. And for public speaking, one example that I want to give from my recent experience is that one of my friends is an ordained minister, and she's able to give public speeches and marry people with full confidence. And that's the kind of confidence I want to get out of this class with public speaking and practice over and over. Practicing in the mirror is also very beneficial and does help me. And I do try because I see that I fidget sometimes, I move around, I do weird things with my hands. So practicing in the mirror is something that I would give off as advice to my peers as well. So you guys can see it and stop it. And I think that's it. That's the end of my speech.
Bravo, bravo.
Good
Well
job.
done.
Thanks. Very nerve-wracking.
I didn't even know that you could have a mind tap read to you. So,
Yeah, it's and then you can actually get it on your phone as an app.
uh-huh.
And if I put them on my earbuds at my work, and I'll just have the audio going.
Oh, good. Your speech was very good. It was easy to follow, and I didn't think you talked too fast. I know you mentioned that that was in your speech, but I think you talked at a pace where we could all understand you.
Awesome. Thanks.
I also felt that you did a great job, especially if you're nervous. You did really well, especially going first too. And I think because you said that it's something that you were drawing attention to, that you think it's something that makes you nervous. that as you were speaking, you slowed it down a little bit. So I think by the end of the course, you'll probably be a really, really good speaker.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
good
think
job.
mentioning that you were shy and stuff, but I feel like you seem really confident, like being able to like talk to us, like if you already knew us and you're just having a normal conversation. So I think you don't have to worry about feeling like you look nervous or you're too shy. Like it sounds like it comes naturally to you. It's probably, I mean, for the first meeting, I feel like you did great. Like I feel like anybody who's like even more shy would be like freaking out right now. I think you did really good.
You guys don't see that I'm sweating.
Okay, so what's the next? Okay, so hi, my name is Karima Bryce. I am currently a preschool teacher, and I've been a teacher for the last 3 years. I'm currently going back to Miramar to finish some classes. My main interest is child development and possibly going into social work in the future. Some of the pod work that I've contributed to so far is being the first one to reach out and start a discussion board so that we can introduce each other and get to know each other. I also submitted the first draft contract, some ideas and topics that I thought were important. One being respecting each other and respecting, we may not always agree on the topics being shared or the information being presented, but we can always be respectful of each other's thinking and the time that we put into our speeches and the research that we've done. I also think that letting everyone get the chance to be heard and the chance to talk and give feedback after each speech is important, because we never know what that person may add to help us to develop our speech techniques. So giving everyone that chance to talk can be beneficial. Also about rescheduling group times and the time and dates, because I know different things happen and with your job and your family, and it needs to be rescheduled, and having the text messaging thing that I put in my rough draft. So I know it's hard, as we saw getting on the discussion board, to contact your group. It's easier. We have our phones in our hand most of the time, and it's easier to send a text message to your group rather than having to go on to the discussion board and doing it that way. So having the group text message is easier in a way. I plan to develop my skills individually this semester by being organized and understanding my topics that I'm going to present to you guys, practicing by myself and in front of others so that I am getting the feedback of what I need to change or fix before the recording day. So that way I'm prepared to give the speech to you guys. And also with my nerves, I get very nervous with speaking. It's always easier for me to speak with my preschool friends, classmates, rather than adults. I don't know why, but practicing and knowing that nerves are normal and it's not as common, or you don't see them. I think nerves are noticeable, but after reading the book, it's not as noticeable as I may have seemed in the past. Nerves are normal, and with practice, I can get over that and be more confident in my speech when it's my turn. I plan to be ready for recording dates by being aware of the dates of when I need to be ready by, being organized with my time and materials so that when I come to you guys, I already know what I need to talk about, being committed to the group and showing you guys that I can be on time and I'll be ready to give my speech, and being an active listener to you guys when it is your turn to give your speech. The feedback that I think is most important and helpful with public speaking is to make sure that it's not all negative and it's constructive. I know personally, I don't like to receive a whole lot of negative feedback without giving me ways I can make it better. I know it makes me more nervous, and I know many of us are already nervous as it is to give speeches. So just to have a lot of negative feedback coming towards you is not going to help build your confidence. Where I think a positive, constructive feedback will not only help ourselves, but other people in the group as well to build their confidence when it is their turn to give their speech. I'm excited for this class and to learn about different topics that I'm not knowledgeable on, and to get feedback from you guys and from the book on ways to build my speech techniques. So thank you.
Yay.
Wow.
Good job. You did really great. I like that you that little detail you made, that it's a lot easier to talk to your preschool friends rather than adults.
It is.
That was cute. And yeah, you did great. I don't think you didn't look nervous to me.
Thank you.
Full confidence in effect.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I can only assume like you're pretty good at being up in front of people. So it just seemed like you're just doing something you do all the time. You did really good. And I feel like the way you were talking, like you transitioned to everything really well. So it didn't sound like you were just trying to figure out what to say next. So I feel like it sounded like you really planned and like prepared for this. So it was really good.
Thank you.
And I think you did really well as well. I think you're very confident, and I liked your little phrase that said you want to be an active listener, because I think that's where most of us fail pretty much in every walk of life. Like when you're busy thinking about like what you have to do next, and then your friend's talking to you and you're just like, but I have to go do my homework assignment or whatever it is. But anyway, I like that because it makes us be in this moment right now. So thank you for that, and well done.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. My turn. We're in my guest room, so just ignore the empty background in the back. Hi, my name is Diana Urista. Just a couple of things to know about me. I feel like I can relate a lot with Ariana. So I'm like obsessed with my dogs too. So like any of my hobbies would just be like dog beach, dog park, and like talking to people that love dogs really. I'm actually an active duty Marine, so that's like my full-time job, and I normally get to travel a lot, so it's pretty exciting. As for who I am and like what I think I can contribute to the group, so I feel like I'm pretty hardworking and like I'm pretty determined. So like things that I feel like contribute in that aspect was like I've never used Zoom ever before. So like when we were all trying to figure out how to even set this up, I was like, I have no idea how to do this, but I'll figure it out. And I mean, here we are. So I guess it worked. And so another thing that I feel like I contributed was that I try to give as much feedback and like participation in the contract. I don't like to feel like I'm that person that just like doesn't do anything and like just lets the peer members like do everything. So I feel like I try to give feedback like how much time we should wait in between the recording sessions to give people time to, if they are late in case something happens, like we're not just saying, okay, we're starting and like right away without them. So I try to make sure that I was being considerate of like people's jobs and that stuff happens. So people are going to be late. I try to contribute the dates and times because I feel like our pod was the pod that had very limited times of when we could actually meet because we're always busy or working. So I feel like that was something I try to consider as well. I try to make sure that in the contract we added that the feedback was positive and it wasn't derogatory because I feel like sometimes people are being honest and it comes off a little harsh and it's not very necessarily like helping that person. It's just gonna like be personal and get to them. For myself, I feel like helpful feedback is just being honest but not being rude. So I don't feel like I take things very personal when people critique me because I like to know like what I'm doing wrong. I know that sometimes it's harder for people to tell someone, hey, you should probably work on this and maybe you could have done this better because they don't want to make that person feel like, oh, like you didn't do good enough or, what you did wasn't the best. So I feel like, at least for me, as long as you're being honest and your intentions are to actually help me, then I feel like I could definitely take any type of feedback you like or that you're willing to give. For me, I know a lot of feedback is like Ariana, you said you talk fast. For me, I'm very soft spoken. So I'm the person that people can never hear. So I know like if you guys ever give me feedback on, hey, we couldn't hear you or it wasn't clear, it sounded like you were mumbling because it was too low, like that would be helpful for myself. Overall for the class, I feel like I definitely want to learn more about that and being able to confidently stand up here and like communicate effectively and not like bore you guys and feel like I'm just listing things off. I definitely know I have like certain things that when I'm up here, I get nervous. Like I move my hands a lot, obviously I'm doing it right now. And I know sometimes I rock back and forth a lot if I feel like I'm standing or I sometimes forget what I'm saying while I'm saying it, even though I practice like 15 times. So I feel like definitely I want to be more confident and know what it is that like my topic is and my purpose, and be able to just say it and perform it, and then be able to make sure that you guys understood that and it was clear to you guys. But overall, I just want to improve my presentation and be able to feel confident in myself, and that you guys see that as well. So yeah.
Job. That was great.
I don't know if that was
Yes.
enough time limit because I didn't know how to put my stopwatch on.
I think you did good. I think definitely you hit your 3-minute mark. I think you
Okay.
did. I like, yeah, you pointed out, like, same thing with me. I do weird things with my hands, and I did see you rock. Definitely the
Yeah.
nerves, but at least you're open and honest, and we're gonna get through this class. We're gonna fix everything. But you did great. It was awesome. I like that it was very detailed, and thank you so much for taking initiative and starting the Zoom. I appreciate it because I'm not tech savvy, and kudos to you for figuring it out. Thank you.
And I know you mentioned that you said that you sometimes talk low, but I think I was able to hear you clearly. I don't know about everybody else. So
Yeah.
I think that's something that you have to worry about. I think it was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I also agree. You speak softly. Sometimes that gets me as well. And I think that you did a great job doing that, because I know if you're not used to it or you're not comfortable, then and you're not a loud person anyway, when you speak softly, a lot of people will say, what?
Yeah, exactly.
And it just takes a long time. So I understand that. And I thought I really liked your part where you said that you don't mind any feedback because you take it constructively. I don't think a lot of people can do that. I think that shows that you're a strong person too. So you should do really well in the class. But I wish I were more like you in that way, because I'm like, it would bother me later, probably, if I had a few. Yeah. So great. And thanks for your service too.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your service. All right, so I guess it's my time.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, my name is Angelia Keever, and I am part of Group 9. We're contributing to our group. I hope to be available as often as I can, although I'm in a different time zone most of the time, because I live between 2 countries. I'm very thankful to all 3 of you for taking the initiative and operating the Zoom class for us. And I like all of the rules that have been set up about 24-hour notices and changes and commitments, and that we have each other to help or ask questions, because I think it's hard, especially with the internet and doing classes not in person, to have a support group with people that are in the similar situation as you. So I'm grateful to have all 3 of you. And I'm sorry if I haven't been as available as all of you have been. My commitment is to be available as much as I can, and to be a positive support. I usually like to encourage people, and I'm pretty good with that part. But I'm not a good speaker in public, although my job is a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines. The last thing in the world I like to do is to stand in front of an airplane of people and speak. I don't like to speak in rooms of people because it's just not comfortable. I don't like everyone looking at me, and I only like to talk if it's something I know a lot about, and only minimally. So whenever we have friends over, I just like to host and not do all the talking. I do use my hands. Sometimes I get nervous speaking, like some of you as well. I would like to help create a positive environment for all of us to become stronger speakers. And I also like the Mind Tap and the books that they read to you, because as I'm doing things around the house, or it's a really busy semester for me, it helps with the reading. And I think you can tell some of my bad habits are my hands. I'm a nervous speaker, and I look away and I fidget a lot. So yeah, I took the job as a flight attendant just because I'm not a great speaker. And what I would like to get most out of this class is that when I'm speaking, my thoughts, I can collect them all and speak them in more of a chronological order. And like, if you're having a debate with someone about something, to think of, I can think the best thoughts, but being able to relay those in words or not think about them later, like, oh, that was what I was thinking, but I just couldn't say it. So to kind of be able to verbalize my thoughts better in a public setting, because when you're nervous, I think it's harder to speak or to say what you're thinking sometimes. I hope all of that made sense. And thank you guys for letting me be part of Group 9. I'm done. Thank you.
I think you did
Awesome.
really good.
You did great. One thing for positive feedback is don't sway so much. I know we all do. We're all nervous, but yes, you're a little all over with it, but I get it. We're nervous, but through this class, I feel like we're all going to improve on that because I feel like we're just going to get comfortable with each other. So maybe it'll be easier to give the speeches just through the comfort zone. I like that it's only 4 people. Imagine if it was like 12 or 20 people, I would die. But yes, good job.
Thanks.
I also thought you did really good. I mean, you can tell you're a little more shy in regards to like you do look away, and I feel like a lot of us do that when it's like if I don't look, they're not there, and you're just like talking to yourself really. But like she said, like we're all just trying to get used to this. Like I've never been on Zoom before, so this is also new to me. So I feel like you still did great for being someone that's shy and doesn't like to get in front of people.
Thank you.
You did a very good job, and I liked how you tied in your job to your speech with the airlines. Because I always figure people who work on the airlines are very sociable. So I think it was nice how you tied yourself into the speech and explained that just because you have that job doesn't mean that you love to give speeches. So very good job.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies. So we're all done with that. Yay.
Yes.